Have you ever felt confused in a relationship, like something is off but you can't explain it? She says certain things, and they stay in your mind longer than they should. They don't sound loud, they don't sound aggressive, but somehow, they slowly break your confidence. This is not about blaming women. This is about understanding reality, the kind that most people ignore. Because a woman who truly loves you speaks differently. She respects, she values, she supports. But a woman who doesn't love you reveals it, not always through actions first, but through her words. And if you listen carefully, you will see the truth. This idea connects deeply with the philosophy of Marcus Aurelius, who believed that truth is always visible if you learn to observe without emotion. So let's break it down, not emotionally, not angrily, but clearly, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. 1. You are overthinking. At first, this sounds harmless. You bring up something that bothers you. Maybe her behavior changed. Maybe she feels distant. And instead of understanding you, she shuts it down with one sentence. You are overthinking. Now think about this carefully. A woman who loves you will try to understand your thoughts. Even if she disagrees, she will not dismiss your feelings. But when she says, you are overthinking, again and again, it's not about calming you. It's about avoiding responsibility. She doesn't want to explain. She doesn't want to clarify. She wants silence. And slowly, you start questioning yourself. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am imagining things. This is how confusion begins, not loudly, but quietly. 2. Do whatever you want. This sentence is dangerous because it looks like freedom, but it actually means emotional distance. When a woman cares about you, she has opinions. She wants to be involved. She wants to guide, suggest, and build together. But when she says, do whatever you want, what she really means is, I am not emotionally invested. She is not interested in the outcome, not interested in your decision, not interested in being part of your life. And the worst part? You feel like you have freedom, but actually you are alone. A relationship is not about doing whatever you want. It is about growing together. If she removes herself from that process, that's not love. That's detachment. 3. You are too sensitive. This one hits deeply because it attacks your personality. You express something honestly. You say, this hurt me. And instead of understanding, she replies, you are too sensitive. Now look at the pattern. She doesn't acknowledge your pain. She doesn't take responsibility. She shifts the problem onto you. So now the issue is not what she did. The issue is you. This is how self-doubt grows. You start hiding your feelings. You stop expressing yourself. You become quiet, not because you are calm, but because you are afraid of being judged. But here is the truth. A person who loves you protects your emotions. They don't make you feel weak for having them. 4. I need space, but with no clarity. Now don't misunderstand this. Sometimes people genuinely need space. That's normal. But there is a difference between healthy space and emotional withdrawal. When she says, I need space, but gives no explanation, no reassurance, no timeline, it creates uncertainty. You don't know what is happening. You don't know if the relationship is stable. You are left guessing. A woman who loves you will say something like, I need a little time, but I care about us. There is clarity, there is reassurance. But when there is silence, distance, and no effort to reconnect, that space is not for healing. That space is for leaving, slowly. 5. Why are you always like this? This sentence is not about solving a problem. It's about labeling you. Instead of discussing a specific issue, she generalizes your behavior. Always. That one word destroys everything, because now it's not about one mistake. It's about your entire personality. And once again, you become the problem. This is not communication. This is emotional manipulation. A healthy partner talks about situations. An unhealthy one attacks identity. And slowly, you start believing it. Maybe you are the problem. Maybe you are not good enough. But ask yourself, did she try to understand, or did she just try to win the argument? 6. You don't deserve me. This is not confidence. This is arrogance. And more importantly, it is a sign of imbalance. In love, there is no superior and inferior. Two people stand together. They support each other. But when she says, "You don't deserve me," she is placing herself above you. And once that happens, respect disappears. Because love cannot exist without respect. This sentence is designed to make you feel small, to make you chase, to make you prove your worth. But real love does not require constant proof. It is given freely, not used as a weapon. 7. I was just joking. After hurting you. This is one of the most common excuses. She says something hurtful, you react, and suddenly she changes the tone. I was just joking. Now the blame shifts again. If you feel hurt, you are the problem because it was just a joke. But think carefully. Jokes are meant to make people laugh, not feel small. And if a joke hurts someone, a caring person apologizes. They don't defend it. When someone repeatedly hides insults behind humor, it is not humor. It is disrespect disguised as playfulness. Now pause for a moment. Look at all these sentences. Individually, they may seem small, but together they create a pattern of avoidance, a pattern of disrespect, a pattern of emotional distance. And this is exactly what Marcus Aurelius warned about. Observe carefully. Do not be distracted by words. Look at what they reveal, because people always reveal who they are, not in one big moment, but in small, repeated signals. And if you ignore those signals, you don't lose the truth. You lose yourself. In the next part, we will go even deeper, because some phrases are more subtle, more dangerous, and much harder to recognize. And most men never see them coming. 8. It's not a big deal. This sentence looks simple, but it quietly erases your emotions. You bring up something that matters to you. Maybe it hurt you. Maybe it made you uncomfortable. And instead of listening, she says, "It's not a big deal." Now understand what is happening here. She is not solving the problem. She is minimizing it. And when your feelings are minimized again and again, you start shrinking yourself. You stop bringing things up. You convince yourself that your emotions are not important. But in a real relationship, what matters to you should matter to her. Even if she doesn't fully understand it, she will try. Because love does not dismiss. Love listens. 9. You are imagining things. This one is even more dangerous, because it attacks your sense of reality. You notice a pattern. You feel a change. You sense distance. And when you express it, she replies, "You are imagining things." Now slowly you begin to doubt your own perception. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am just insecure. This is how trust in yourself breaks, not because you are weak, but because someone keeps denying what you clearly feel. A person who loves you will clarify, not confuse. They will bring light, not fog. But when someone constantly makes you question your reality, it is not love. It is control. 10. I never asked you to do that. This sentence removes appreciation. You put effort into the relationship. You try to help. You try to give. And when things go wrong, instead of acknowledging your intention, she says, "I never asked you to do that." Now everything you did suddenly feels meaningless. Your effort becomes invisible. And over time, you stop trying. Because what is the point of giving when it is never valued? A loving partner may not always agree with what you do, but they will appreciate the intention behind it. They will not erase your effort like it never existed. 11. This is just how I am. This sentence closes all doors. You point out something that hurts you, something that needs change, and instead of reflecting, she says, "This is just how I am." What does this really mean? It means she is not willing to grow, not willing to adjust, not willing to meet you halfway. But every strong relationship requires effort from both sides. It requires change. It requires awareness. Nobody is perfect, but love makes people try. When someone hides behind, "This is just how I am," they are choosing comfort over connection. 12. You are too much. This sentence makes you feel like a burden, too emotional, too caring, too expressive, too intense. Slowly, You start reducing yourself. You speak less. You feel less. You become smaller just to fit into her comfort. But here is the truth. The right person will never make you feel like too much. They will understand your depth. They will respect your emotions. Because love is not about shrinking yourself to be accepted. It is about being accepted as you are. 13. Everyone agrees with me. This is pressure, not communication. Instead of discussing the issue, she brings in imaginary support. Everyone thinks you are wrong. My friends say the same. Now you feel isolated, outnumbered, like you are the only one who sees things differently. But a relationship is not a courtroom. It is not about gathering votes. It is about understanding each other. When someone uses others to validate their point, they are not trying to solve the problem. They are trying to overpower you. 14. If you really loved me, you would. This is emotional manipulation in its purest form. Love is being used as a test, as a condition. If you really loved me, you would do this. If you cared, you would prove it. Now your love is constantly being measured, constantly being questioned, and you feel forced to act, not because you want to, but because you are afraid of losing her. But real love is not forced. It is not demanded. It is not tested like this. It flows naturally, without pressure, without fear. 15. I don't care. These 3 words are simple but powerful, and when they are said repeatedly, they reveal the truth very clearly. You try to talk. You try to fix things. You try to connect, and the response is, I don't care. This is not anger. This is not frustration. This is indifference. And indifference is more dangerous than hate, because hate still has emotion. Indifference has nothing. When someone truly loves you, they may get angry, they may disagree, but they will never consistently show that they don't care, because care is the foundation of love. Now look at this deeper pattern. Each sentence slowly disconnects you from yourself. Your feelings are minimized. Your reality is questioned. Your efforts are ignored. Your personality is criticized. Your love is tested, and your presence becomes optional. This is not sudden. This is gradual, and that is why most people don't notice it. They adjust, they tolerate, they hope things will change. But as Marcus Aurelius taught, when you stop seeing things clearly, you start accepting what harms you. Truth does not hide. It repeats itself. And if you are honest with yourself, you will see the pattern. Not in one sentence, but in many. Not in one moment, but over time. In the next part, we will go even further, because the final layer is not just about what she says. It is about what you must understand and what you must do when you finally see the truth. Now comes the hardest part, not identifying the signs, not understanding the words, but accepting what they mean. Because once you truly see the pattern, you reach a point where you cannot pretend anymore. You cannot keep telling yourself, maybe it will change. You cannot keep ignoring what is clearly in front of you. And this is where most people struggle. Not because they don't understand, but because they are emotionally attached. They remember the good moments. They remember how things started. They hold on to potential instead of reality. But as Marcus Aurelius believed, your peace depends on your ability to see reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. The first thing you must understand is this: words reveal patterns, and patterns reveal truth. Anyone can say something once in anger. Anyone can make a mistake. But when the same kind of sentences repeat again and again, they are no longer accidents. They are reflections of how a person truly feels about you. And if those reflections show disrespect, distance, and lack of care, then you are not imagining it. You are recognizing it. The second thing you must understand is that love is not confusing. It is not supposed to make you question your worth every day. It is not supposed to make you feel like you are too much or not enough at the same time. Real love brings clarity. Even during disagreements, there is respect. Even during distance, there is reassurance. Even during problems, there is effort. If you constantly feel anxious, unsure, and emotionally drained, That is not love. That is instability. The third truth is about self-respect. This is where everything changes, because the problem is not just what she says, the problem is what you allow. Every time you ignore disrespect, you teach the other person that it is acceptable. Every time you stay silent when something hurts you, you lower your own value in the relationship. And slowly, without realizing it, you train people to treat you in ways you never wanted. This is why self-respect is not optional, it is necessary. But self-respect does not mean anger. It does not mean shouting or proving a point. It means clarity. It means calm decisions. It means knowing when something is not right for you and having the strength to step back. As Marcus Aurelius taught, you cannot control how others behave, but you can control what you accept. Now you might ask, what should you actually do? The answer is simple, but not easy. First, observe without emotion. Stop reacting immediately. Start noticing patterns. Listen carefully to what is being said and how often it is repeated. When you remove emotional reactions, you start seeing things more clearly. Second, communicate once with honesty and calmness, not aggressively, not defensively. Just clearly express what you feel and what you expect. A person who cares will listen. They may not be perfect, but they will try. But a person who does not care will dismiss, deflect, or repeat the same behavior. And this brings you to the final step. Decision. Not based on fear, not based on loneliness, but based on truth. If nothing changes, if the same words, the same patterns, the same disrespect continues, then staying will not fix it. Time does not fix patterns. Awareness does. Effort does. And if effort is missing, time will only make things worse. Many people stay because they are afraid of being alone. But what they don't realize is that they are already alone. You can be in a relationship and still feel completely disconnected, completely unheard, completely unvalued. And that is a deeper kind of loneliness. Walking away is not a loss when you are leaving something that is slowly breaking you. Another important thing to understand is this. You cannot make someone love you by giving more. You cannot earn respect by tolerating disrespect. And you cannot build a strong connection with someone who is emotionally unavailable. These are harsh truths, but they are freeing once you accept them, because they shift your focus from, how do I fix this person, to what is right for me. And this is where your power returns, not in controlling the other person, but in controlling your own standards, your own boundaries, your own decisions. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. If you lose that, you lose everything. So remember this clearly. When a woman doesn't love you, she will not always say it directly. She will show it through patterns of words and behavior, and those patterns will slowly reveal the truth. Your job is not to ignore it. Your job is to see it, accept it, and act accordingly. Because the moment you start choosing clarity over comfort, your life begins to change. And that is the real lesson. If this video made you see things more clearly, don't ignore that feeling. Clarity is rare, and once you have it, it can change your entire life. If you found even one point helpful, make sure you like the video so it reaches more people who need to hear this truth. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, simple, real, and straight to the point. And most importantly, share this video with someone who might be going through the same confusion, but doesn't have the words to understand it yet. Sometimes the right message at the right time can open someone's eyes. Stay aware, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.